Just don't get wet. I know. I don't think you're right. Say that. Huh? This is Julia Gulia. Yeah.
Okay.
Stop.
She doesn't have any babies, right?
No.
Private joke, huh? Yeah. So should I scan everybody here?
Yeah.
All your friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Everybody here is my friend.
Everybody. Hey.
Well, my friend Geoffrey.
Geoffrey?
Just call me Hoff.
Oh. What do they call you that, man?
I don't know.
The teacher called this.
How do you spell your name?
Geoff.
Okay, yeah.
Geoff.
I can relate to that. Okay, gotta go this way. Hey, I feel raindrops.
Josh, you will nail it. Josh. Yeah!
Hey, Tracy.
I heard you yelling all the way over there.
Hey, Daisy.
Oh, yeah.
You want to go hug your grandpa Newton?
I'm going to see Newton.
Tracy can hold your place for a minute. Well, tell her to hold your place for a minute.
Hold my friend.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Mike! I'll take your picture. Hello, George.
Well, hi, George. There's a lot of us Georges.
That's the way. I had three working for me one time, and somebody said, George, every one of them don't go.
Oh. Sorry.
I'm getting too tall, huh? You're running into me with the camera.
Oh, it's raining. All right, I gotta get my...
If it's windy, you'd be like a
Okay.
flying nun and take off with that hat on.
Good luck.
It's starting to rain.
Okay.
Come on, guys, come on. Graduation pick. Beautiful place for graduation, huh?
Boy, it sure is.
View. I don't think I've ever been up to the very top before.
Really?
I went to an Elton John concert here a few years ago. My first and only concert. Never wanted to do it again. It was such a mob scene. But I just sat like halfway up. I never came all the way this high up.
Elton John, huh?
Yeah, it was good. He did about 3 encores. Somebody's blowing bubbles over there. They're blowing around in the wind.
Well, where'd she go?
Well, they all look the same. It's really hard to find somebody in particular, isn't it?
Oh, there she is.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, should we just climb over and have a seat up here?
Good luck. Hey, hey, hey.
Good job.
Yeah, Brian is
Where's Janet?
Go, Chelsea! Do you have closer seats? Grandma can't go down the steps.
Hey! Everybody's around. I don't know where they're at.
Janet is here.
Tighten it down. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. What are you getting here? Oh, you can't see much, can you? Ready? Let's move as far down as we can go, because this isn't hardly picking up anything.
Many people, especially members of the senior class, have put a great deal of time, energy, and care into planning this graduation for you. Let us show our pride with respectful attention throughout the program. The class of '98 deserves a dignified celebration of their achievements. Thank you. Our program will now be opened by Mr. Steve Bravo, Senior Class Vice President.
Good afternoon. My name is Steve Bravo, and as the Vice President of our graduating class, I would like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony of Green Mountain High School's class of 1998. As graduating seniors, today represents an end and a beginning for us all. After today, the constant education, whose purpose has been to prepare us for the future, will end, and the future application of that knowledge will begin. Today also marks the end of the predetermined path through life with which we have followed for the past 12 years, and the beginning of a path which will be left entirely up to us to determine. This ability to determine our fates is the privilege we receive for successfully completing this first portion of our lives. Along with this privilege comes the opportunity for us to achieve a vast level of success, limited only to our own determination. This ability to determine our own path through life, along with the opportunity to succeed that comes with it, marks the beginning of our future and the end of our past. Along with this new beginning, today also marks the end of the childhood lives and worlds which we have lived in throughout the past 12 years. However, the time has come for us to part past with this old world, old activities, places, and even friends, because after all, that is the price we must pay for growing up. Fortunately, in losing this old world, we are given the opportunity to replace it with the world we have continually dreamed of living in for the past 12 years, making that dream a reality. In many senses, it is our turn now to take our place in the world, and to make the changes and administer our lives like we have always wished to. From this point forth, it is solely our responsibility to use the tools we have been given throughout the past 12 years to shape this world and our lives into the form we have always envisioned. Therefore, I wish all of you the best of luck in completing your lives in the way you wish and the way you have always dreamed to, as well as thank you for providing me with the inspiration I will need in completing my own.
It's my pleasure to introduce members on the stage. I will begin. When your name is stated, please stand, and audience, please wait for the all to stand before you applause. Mr. Jim Melhouse, Assistant Superintendent for Jefferson County Schools. Mr. John DeStefano, President of the Jefferson County Board of Education. Ms. Tori Meritz, First Vice President of the Board of Education. Dr. Elizabeth Treichler, Principal. Mr. Ron Walker, Assistant Principal. Ms. Greta Martinez, Assistant Principal. Ms. Frank Phelps, Dean of Students. Ms. Barbara Nash, Dean of Students. Ms. Heather Beck, Graduation Speaker. Ms. Cindy Fight, Graduation Reader. Ms. Barbara Amber, Graduation Reader. Valedictorians, Kimberly Michelle Allen, Amanda Yu Jia Reedon, Stephen Daniel Kramer, Glenn Wesley Kepler, Luke Daniel Miller, Michelle Sarah Patine, Gregory Brian Rieger, Jillian Leslie Seibert, Megan Coffey Swansea, Mark Robert Walker, Catherine Ann Worden. Salutatorians, Jesse Miller, Lucas Morgan Mute, Michelle Springer. And the staff members retiring from their careers at Green Mountain High School, Mr. Frank Phelps, Mr. Dennis Shepard, and Mr. Robert Taylor. I'd also like to take this time to recognize the following seniors who have made extensive contributions to the success of our school. Please stand and remain standing to be recognized when I call your name. The Executive Officers and Senate. Student Body President, Trevor J. Frobos. Student Body Secretary, Jillian Leslie Seibert. Student Body Treasurer, David Thomas Matthews. Rampage Editor-in-Chief, Francis Margaret Starkey. and your book editor-in-chief, Regina Moon Young Ritchie. Thank you for all you've done for the school. Now it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce our guest speaker. Each year, the senior class chooses one of their teachers to speak at graduation. This year, the senior class chose a teacher who possesses the qualities that we admire. It is my pleasure to introduce Miss Heather Beck.
Good afternoon, everyone. And seniors, I have my rock. I open my sociology class each spring with the idea that stories are the food our souls need in order to survive. I believe that stories are powerful and the only real gift I have to give you. I am going to tell you a story today, a story filled with typical people like yourselves. Once upon a time, there was a little 7-year-old girl who had long, stringy black hair and loved being outside. She enjoyed snuggling with cats and laughing in the sunshine. She painted rainbows and sang silly songs. She had an older brother, younger sisters, and 2 loving parents, and they lived in an ordinary American home. She was a happy kid who knew life to be kind and gentle. One day, the dark side of life came knocking on her door. The loudness of the knock awoke the little girl. Life was burning down her house. She could not figure out why her house was the one life wanted to burn down. Her dolls were scorched, her toys were melted, and her pets were killed. Her family was left looking at charred clothes and scraps of furniture. She felt sad, but her parents loved her, and her siblings were fine. Time kept ticking, and the next year, her family moved to a new city. Her mom was traveling on business while her dad was home taking care of her. He made the little girl breakfast before school, accidentally pouring chocolate milk in her bowl of Cheerios. He covered up his error by telling her it improved their taste, but she knew better. She still thought he was a pretty cool dad for letting her have chocolate milk in her cereal. That afternoon, February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, the little girl came home from school to be met by Life. Life was disguised as a police officer and a chaplain. Life had taken her dad that day, killing him from a heart attack. The little girl started to think life was a little unfair. Another year passed when Life knocked on the door again. The little girl's mom had lost an 8-month battle to breast cancer. Life had turned into a negative force and seemed to be punishing the little girl. Her grandmother died the next year. Her guardians divorced the year after that. And this is how she entered her teenage years. Life had taken her parents, her grandmother, and her happiness. Life had threatened her memories by stealing her pictures when the house burned down, virtually erasing her past.
One toe for
The little girl grew up. She was angry at life for years. She shut life out, kept people away, and refused to answer the door. She thought if she could avoid loving anything, then life couldn't hurt her anymore. Life had become so mean, so unjust, so painful. No one had ever told the little girl that life was fair or easy. Life started out so kind and gentle and turned so hostile that the little girl was disillusioned. Life was teaching this girl, and she did not know what she was supposed to be learning. Life does not have standards to meet or content to cover. Life seems to pick its own curriculum, forgetting to tell us what we need to learn or when the due date is. Life does not hand out progress reports or record transcripts for us. Life does not even offer a dress rehearsal. This is it. Life's teaching style can be quite harsh. Maybe we do you a disservice in education, constantly reporting to you about how well you're playing our game. Maybe we should do more self-evaluations and allow you more opportunities to share what life is teaching you. Years later, the little girl heard a story that was food for her soul. It was in hearing this story that all the instruction life had been offering began to have meaning. A little boy asks his dad, "What's the difference between heaven and hell?" And the father says, "Son, when you die and go to hell, you enter a large ballroom with beautiful parquet floors, sparkling chandeliers, silver candelabras, and crystal glasses. There's a huge meal spread out in front of you on a long mahogany table. The problem is, the silverware is attached to your elbow, so you cannot eat." "Wow, Dad, what's heaven like?" Dad said, "Well, son, when you die and go to heaven, you enter a large ballroom with beautiful parquet floors, sparkling chandeliers, silver candelabras, and crystal glasses. There's a huge meal spread out in front of you on a long mahogany table." The son interrupts and he says, "I know, Dad. The difference is the silverware is not on their elbows." The dad says, "No, son. Silverware is still on their elbows. The difference is that in heaven, they've learned to feed their neighbors." Life's instructional method offers you different opportunities for interpreting the same story. Life is a teacher. The little girl in the first story has grown up, and here I am. I have become a teacher with life as my mentor. Although this little girl wishes her story were different, life raised me into the teacher before you. I can still see life as hell, or I can choose to live life as heaven. Life still knocks on my door, but now we have coffee together and we talk. I teach because it is what I have to give my neighbor. As you venture out to continue your journey, life will follow you too, and life will be your teacher. You will learn all sorts of lessons and have numerous adventures. Your story will be soul food, filled chapter by chapter with your interpretations. It is the interpretation that makes life rich. Life is not fair, nor is it easy, but life is what you decide to make of it.
When you see him. We'll know if he's coming.
In closing, I would like to ask my colleagues to please stand.
Yes.
They are behind you, they are at the ends of your rows, and they are before you here on stage. Look around you. Green Mountain High School is blessed with a collection of dedicated and caring professionals. We are educators. We teach. We tell stories. We encircle you. You have met our deadlines, earned grades, and will soon receive a diploma that says we believe in you. Remember this feeling of being surrounded by people who support you. It took all of us, along with your parents, your guardians, your grandparents, your community, and yourselves to become high school graduates. Although you are currently embraced by your educators, everyone here feels tremendous pride for you today. I am only one voice speaking, but it is with all of those surrounding you, along with my good friend Light. We salute you, we celebrate your achievements, we honor your successes, and we respect your future. Thank you for giving me the gift of being your graduation speaker today. And to the class of 1998, Shalom and Godspeed.
Now I'd like to introduce to you Green Mountain High School Concert Choir, singing the alma mater under the direction of Ms. Erin Grimm. A special selection will be conducted by Mr. Steve Meininger.
Really?
Yep.
Where'd the ball go?
I have no idea. I think it went to the audience and then they never
Oh.
probably have more common sense than you.
Pretty neat. See if I can get some lightning.
It's mostly right over there in the rain.
Right over there? What was that?
That was like a little duck or something. Mango. The guy just ripped it out.
What is this beach toys?
Boredom, I guess. I don't know.
I never heard of everybody bringing beach toys.
I never did either.
They're acting like little kids.
They're kids. Yeah. Ooh, I saw that lightning.
It's pouring on Denver. It's about to be pouring on Denver.
Sit down. Get out.
I would like to take this time for a moment of reflection as we look back at the students that are not able to join us today. Miss Samantha Hammond, Josh Henderson, Victoria Shaker-Jeski. If I could please have a moment of silence, if you would please join me.
Josh is the one that got killed at the car wash.
Thank you.
It is on. All right. Each year as the road through high school comes to an end for a new group of seniors, it seems the road of high school education also comes to an end for a group of high school educators. A group of people who have worked so hard to enlighten and inspire not only this year's group of graduating seniors, but many previous classes as well. Today it is my privilege to honor and recognize this year's group of retiring Green Mountain faculty. Gentlemen, please stand as I say your name. Frank Phelps. Bob Taylor. and Dennis Shepard. Mr. Frank Phelps has spent 34 years in the teaching profession, with 26 years at Alameda High School and the last 5 years at Green Mountain. Throughout his career at Green Mountain, he spent 3 years in the Language Arts Department and 2 years as the Dean of Students. In his retirement, Mr. Phelps takes with him his bright smile, great attitude, which students throughout the past 34 years have benefited from. His future plans include traveling all across the globe to visit such places as Mexico City, England and Scotland, as well as Alaska, so that he can hopefully one day write a novel about his journeys.
Got it. Got some lightning on that.
Mr. Bob Taylor's teaching career spans over 32 years, with time spent at Alameda and Jefferson High Schools, along with a short time spent at North Arvada Junior High, and of course at Green Mountain High School, where he has been teaching since the school opened 26 years ago. While at Green Mountain, his primary field of instruction has been mathematics, but Mr. Taylor has also been involved with teaching kids through many extracurricular activities at Green Mountain. His positions as the original wrestling and golf coaches at Green Mountain are just a few of the ways that Mr. Taylor has helped to teach Green Mountain students in and out of the classroom. Mr. Taylor's future plans include traveling, fishing, and spending time with his grandchildren. Mr. Dennis Shepard has been teaching for more than 36 years, with 6 years spent at Jefferson High School and 25 years at Green Mountain, where his primary field of instruction has been mathematics. Throughout his career as both a teacher and math department chairman, he has worked to update the math curriculum by introducing graphing calculators, as well as helping to instruct other math teachers in Jefferson County on how to use this important tool. However, Mr. Shepard has also spent a large portion of time of his career teaching kids on the athletic field. Throughout his career as both a track and cross-country coach, he has worked to bring Green Mountain a number of state championships in both sports. Mr. Shepard's future plans include his teaching career possibly in New Zealand, as well as possibly teaching part-time at Metro State College or the University of Colorado at Denver.
Wow. Yeah.
All three of these distinguished gentlemen have had very long as well as honorable careers in the teaching profession. Throughout the duration, they have undoubtedly helped to affect and change the lives of thousands of their students. The effects of their outstanding abilities as teachers will continue to be felt throughout the lives and careers of the students they have helped to inspire and motivate. As these men move on in life, leaving Green Mountain behind, they take with them the great ability as teachers, and the abilities of these men can never be replaced at Green Mountain and can hopefully be compensated for in the future.
Bring in fried chicken over here.
No, listen.
No fried chicken?
You didn't bring a chair back for me, did you?
Oh. Yeah, the car.
It was so well prepared. Everything you need in the car.
I never thought about it on the road. I figured there's no way it's going to rain.
It is my pleasure to introduce Principal Dr. Elizabeth Traci.
Count.
It is my pleasure to introduce to you the students who have achieved the highest academic record of their 4 years at Green Mountain High School. This year's valedictorians are, and students please come and receive your medallion and then remain standing on stage. Kimberly Allen.
So the speed of sound travel is 1 mile per second?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Amanda Breeden. Steve Daniel Kramer.
Now Denver's being poured on.
Wes Kepler. Michelle Petit. Greg Reeker. Jill Seibert. Megan Swansea. Mark Walker. Catherine Warden.
I wish they would take into consideration
The salutatorians for the class of 1998 are Jesse Miller. Michelle Springer. Lucas Mute.
Everywhere. Hey, G, look. Bubbles.
Welcome, friends, family, administration, and you, fellow graduates, to this, our 1998 commencement ceremony. I remember where it all began back in elementary school. I showed up with my tight brown jeans, my suffocating shirt, and rolled socks. I must say, we didn't quite have the best fashion sense, but nevertheless, we learned the basics. Stand in long lines, completely silent. Raise your hand to speak, and how to climb the rope. Now, while I must say, the skill isn't important, I'm sure we'll all find the right time to utilize it. As time went on, though, we developed friendships, and many of them we'll still have today. Time continued to march on until we found ourselves at the top of the elementary world in 6th grade. Yeah! At this time, our teachers threw us in the wilderness. Now, outdoor lab was a pleasant boot camp experience. If you didn't commit infractions such as forgetting your winter gloves or taking a 3-minute shower instead of the acceptable 2-minute shower. But as the sun finally set on our elementary years, these memories still remain. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, we only got like 2 minutes for showers.
Good kidding.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle,
After surviving the great outdoors, many of us entered an even more frightening world, Duxton Junior High School. There we spent many long mornings suffering in the cold until the wardens, also known as the administration, mercifully opened the doors and let us inside. Oftentimes, we were locker slammed multiple times, and then we would head to our first class. We then spent the next 7 hours bearing the loaded backpacks we could empty only 4 times a day, and listening to teachers' endless stories about airplanes and bump water, more commonly known as tissue. However, this monotony did have an occasional break in the form of detention, with strike against the dress code in 8th grade. And this is how we persevered. Finally, after 2 long years, we were sent on our way to the world of Green Mountain High School, a world filled with high expectations and endless construction.
Going
Going from 8th grade to high school is a bit like jumping into a pool without checking to see if there's water first. The extent of your high school knowledge is what one of your friends told his friend whose brother is already in high school. You heard you can leave the school for lunch, a freedom the likes of which were never seen in junior high. You heard that you lose the not-so-majestic titles of Sevi and 8-ball for the more noble-sounding freshman or sophomore. You heard that there's a 95% chance that you will be taped to a flagpole by a senior. And you also heard that the margin of error on that statistic is 5%. Regardless, you're filled with excitement and, of course, a bit of fear for the unknown. And you charge into your freshman year knowing it's not going to be just the same old story.
The reality of freshman year hit us the first day of high school. The teachers gave us more responsibility, the school gave us more freedom, and the seniors were not as scary as we had all expected. Although some of us did find ourselves duct taped to a pole. As the year progressed, we began to feel more comfortable with our surroundings, and it became apparent that our lives would be changed forever. New friendships developed, our social activities changed, and we began to grow. This was our first step towards adulthood. By the end of freshman year, we had discovered knowledge and confidence that would guide us through our high school years.
Most of us, 16, was a magical age. We granted us more freedom. The journey started with driving six, where we were presented with a very important lesson. Stop at red lights, slow down.
Strong athletics, and the class of '98 has definitely made our mark over the years. Larger-than-life photos of the macho football team and those crazy soccer girls will chronicle our championships for years to come. Unfortunately, for every winning season, there's those unrewarded, valiant efforts. In time, however, it's not the record the team holds which the athletes will remember. It's the memories shared and unbreakable bonds formed which will remain. Some of us chose to wake at the wee hours of the morning to condition for swimming and running. For others, swinging at small objects was the sporting choice. As a matter of fact, the baseball team has gotten their batting practice down to such a science they can now hit innocent soccer girls without even trying. Poor Sarah. We spike, we dunk, we flip across skinny beams, and we pin our opponents to mats, all for the sake of our school. Finally, it's not just the athletes who determine the outcome of the game. In many cases, the fan support was exactly what was needed for that extra edge. You see, athletic events at Green Mountain have come to serve as an opportunity for the community to band together on the fields and in the stands to show Ram pride. When one of us wins, we all win. After 4 years, we have a lot to show for ourselves besides our diplomas. We've shared 4 years of work, 4 years of friendship, and above all, 4 years of memories, not only in the classrooms, but also in the field of play.
If you look outside and use your own eyes and you don't rain, your brain would have told you it was cloudy over Red Rocks, you know.
80 degrees outside.
I know.
I thought it would be
You were complaining about how hot it was, and you just turned on the air conditioning.
Oh, God. It's going to be freezing.
I turned it off.
How dare you?
Thank God I followed you around the house and doing
As the end of each year draws near, one word that is obsessing in the mind of all of her classmates, prom. The gossip-filled halls rumble with Cinderellas trying to find a Prince Charming, and all those Prince Charmings pretending not to care. The days keep getting longer and the girls keep getting nicer until finally, prom night is upon us. Anxious nerves leads to excitement as we walk down the stairs and into the ballroom looking like princes and princesses. The night begins as we lift our glasses to our final year and progresses into a celebration of all of our good memories. But as the story goes, the night must end. As the clock nears midnight, the ballroom empties, leaving us with only the memories of how we have truly had the time of our lives.
The feeling crept up on me slowly, then hit me like a baseball bat, a flood of exhilaration and ecstasy. I am a senior. I can hack, I can laugh, I can have Christmas 5 times a year. I can make the cruising soundtrack. I can play ping pong for 6 straight hours. I can stay up all night to win the Nebraska Fusco Award with a vending machine that turns into a tree. I filled out application after application, written personal essays to prepare to face the real world. But I've decided the real world with jobs, money, and minor crises isn't for me. I want to be a senior the rest of my life. I'm going to play guitar until 2 in the morning. I'm going to feel the grass between my toes. I'm going to jump so far off that sand dune that I'll never come down. As Joe Sargent said, I'm going to live or die trying.
We need this bamboo. First,
All the songs they've been playing are from when we grew up.
I know. You're sure you're playing Green Day. Pumpkinhead.
Now here we are at graduation, making memories for the final pages of a scrapbook. We have decided on the colleges we will be attending in the fall. Some of us have even chosen our majors. However, the security of these decisions have not prepared us for feeling lost in a combination of fear and excitement. Change and acceptance of who we think we are contribute to our fear. New adventures and freedom add to the excitement. The challenges of college will give us a glimpse into reality. It is yet another stepping stone for taking our responsibility. Through the hardships, we will reflect upon the times that we not past. Our struggles may have seemed insurmountable. These past experiences prove our ability to persevere when life gets tough. I'll remember the class of 1898.
The time must come for us to say goodbye. Should we be happy or say it with a sigh?
Both are emotions running in the heart, for without an ending, there is no start.
Now I'd like to introduce the class song, Someday Never Comes by Creedence Clearwater Revival, performed by Mr. Andrew Bevan, Mr. Regina Ritchie, and Sarah Lucy.
people. Oh no.
Yeah, keep them all dry.
Jason Lloyd Allen,
They should bring all of us up there too.
Selena Alvarez Romero, Alicia Anderson, Stephen Ray Anderson, Travis Lee Barnett, Thomas Neil Bailey, Jeffrey Lane Barnett, Pastor Michael Arch, Aaron Thomas Beck,
Run, kids, run!
Andrew
Run up there and get those diplomas!
Ryan Christopher Bennett, Lee Biggs, Andrew Phillips Revers, Brian Jacob Bishop, Randall Steve Boyd, Amy Louise Blank, Jeremy Christian Black, Tammy Lynn Gordon, Lindsay Marie Bold, Ryan Robert Brower, Edward Boyd, Amanda Uja Reenan, Daniel Kramer, Marie Combers, Mark Robert Covelli, Mark Lawson Davis, Jeffrey Dean Harold, Rodney Jenkins DeBois, Angela Christine DiGiacomo, Jessica Del Vecchio, Alexander Depta, Ryan Nathaniel Dobbs, Emily Ann Dozier, Scott Anthony Dreesen, Kristen Catherine Dryling, Christine Elizabeth Dryden, Betsy Kane Dunbar, Alan Wiggins, Michael Scott Edwards, Michael Vincent Kessler, Tracy Marie Evans, Nicholas Charles Fabio, Sandra Jean Fairchild, Emma Renee Farmer, Christopher Richard Marie Garcia, Thomas Edward Fazio, Brandon Lee Foster, Megan Michelle Foster, Chad Stephen Fowler, Jessica Lynn Freeman, Trevor J. Robo, Bradley Lynn
Be back.
David Scott Hancock, Michael Justin Hargrove, Jared Myron Harrington, Hassan M. Hassan, James B. Hayden, Judith Elizabeth Heidemann, Sarah Ann Hendricks, Wilfred Brian Herbert, Sergio Ayala, Jeffrey Lyle Hiley, Joseph Ronald Pingle, Shannon Marie Coleman, Michael Joseph Hogan, Daisy Linda Holt, Elizabeth J.D. Holbrook, Julia Lynn Rochite, Sarah Frances Hokendike, Ellen Hughes, Olivia Scottsville, Andrew Joseph Hughes, Billy Joe Huff, Ava Goose, Carrie Ann Hunter, Abigail Lynn Jackson, Arthur Mark Orlando, Aaron John Thompson, Jeffrey Earl Stone, Tara Marie Johnson, Derek B. Johnson, Nathan Michael Cohen, Philip James Hughes, Glenn Wesley Kepler Jr., Nathan James Kelly,
I thought they switched into the K's before they finished the A's.
Melissa Louise Kinas, Jonathan Westbrook Angelo, Jean Yoon Christina Kim, Christy Lynn Click, Christy King Laker, Kevin Ryan Crow, Daniel Robert Kinsey, Jeremiah Richard Cooper.
So now we gotta find her after this?
Tiffany Sunshine Land, Angela Reed,
Let's go home.
Let's go now?
Let's just go home.
Let's go now, because you guys are gonna get hyped.
Here we go.
Please, please.
Okay, this.
We've seen the graduation of the whole.
Marjorie Martinez, Laura Lynn Hart,
Oh gosh. What a headache.
David Thomas Matthews, Christopher Allen McCarty, Jacqueline Lee McAllister, Stephanie McDonald, Lucas Eugene McClellan, Nathan Lee McKeever, Joni Amanda McGuire, Brian Todd Lilly, Gary McKenzie, James Lee Meisinger, Heather David Hughes, Stacy Lee Muir, Kevin Michael Beck, Catherine Emily Moore, Renee Karen Myers, Luke Daniel Miller, Jesse Miller, Brian Leonard,
Talk about trees.
Nicole Renee Mitchell, Nicole Marie Cooper, Sean Jeffrey Mitchell, Patel, Andrew Lynn Pennington, Vicente Miguel Peña, Mark Eric Peters, Kaylee Ann Kircher, Cyber, John Robert Sherrard, Robert Lee Severe, Michelle Mary Sensacalci, David Michael Shannon,
There's the Newtons.
Rebecca Lee Sidner, Sarah Arlene Sinclair, Rebecca Nicole Smith, Stephen Paul Sitzler, Gabrielle
Oh man, we can't handle it.
Sotomayor, Ariane Francis Smith,
Hey.
Melanie Ann
I know
Sprague,
you.
Jennifer Jo Sorensen, Frances Margaret Starkey, Jessica Marie Spencer, Laura Ross Stevenson, Michelle Dawn Springer, Thomas Andrew Stalker, Charlotte K. Stephen, Scott Edward Tassett, Megan Coffey Swansea, Timothy Michael Telesco, Sherry Lee Circle, Ian Robert Thompson, Candace Marie Taylor, Seth Patrick Thompson, Amanda LeVay Thomas, Daniel Brian Tolson, Michelle Levon Thompson, James Austin Turner, Alicia Nicole Tellerico, Douglas James Ulander, Gina Ann Tamborello, Brandon Stephen Garrimer, Jessica Dawn Turner, Josephine Behill, Thomas Donald Ulysses, Mark Robert Walker, Benjamin Scott Van Fossen, Matthew Tuffield Walker, Brandy Lauren Von Weisenstein, Elizabeth Ann Washburn, Dustin Gregory Walker, Brian Ray Werner, Stephen Edward Warner,
That's yours. That's mine.
David White, Catherine Ann Milton, Eric Joseph Wisner, Jonathan Robert Westland, Melanie Marie Savage, Jennifer Winkler.
Let's go.
Go?
Let's go.
Should we go?
Let's go.
Should we go?
We're gonna ask the Newtons something when we find their car.
Okay.
Let's go, honey.
All right. Tracy, tell your grandparents they're welcome to come over.
Where's Daisy going?
She said she had all kinds of places to go and she was going to come by our place last tonight. We got a present for her, some cheesecake and all that. Okay? Are you freezing?
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
It's like so. Sure.
Daisy, if you're looking at this, we really love the heck out of you. Put up with this.
You can tell. We fought long and hard. It was the three of us who would get moved and who would get the word "your" and who would get tasseled.
Everybody got everything? Well, you be sure and tell them, Tracy, if they want to come by. They're welcome to. See G's room and everything.
You've reached our goal.
We're gonna go to dinner, so she's supposed to come by and go to dinner, but I don't know where she's gonna meet us, at the house or at the hotel.
You gonna come by and get G?
Yeah, you wanna go to dinner?
To the right.
Okay.
We don't want to
We
upset
just
the
senior
dinner,
class.
so we'll just stay.
Thank everyone for their attendance today and for all those who support us through the year.
Oh, cold. It's cold. It's very cold.
Celebrate this event safely.
Well, that was fun.
And good luck to the
Were you up here the whole time?
98.
I don't know.
We were sitting in the middle for a while.
Who do you have graduating?
Daisy Holt,
Your packets from your faculty escorts from Rose.
George's sister. This is his other sister, Tracy.
Hi.
Who'd you have?
Steven. We have one that's Stephen Warner.
Well, I guess that's it.
Yep.
Good, man. I am so cold.